Steph Curry shouldn't be offended when he watches this.
I hope not. Yeah, he's still a great player. Not a Hall of Famer yet, though.
Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, two legends. One brutal answer. When Michael Jordan was asked live on NBC if Steph Curry deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, he didn't hesitate. He didn't sugarcoat it. He looked straight into the camera and said, "Not a Hall of Famer yet, though. He's not." Let that sink in. The greatest player of all time just told the world that a four-time champion wasn't worthy. Not yet. This wasn't some random interview buried on a podcast. This was during halftime of the NBA's opening night. Millions watching. Curry's Warriors had just beaten the Lakers hours earlier, and MJ chose that moment to draw a line in the sand. But here's where it gets deeper. Jordan wasn't being petty. He was making a statement about what it takes to be considered elite in his eyes, a statement about legacy, about earning your place in history, not just showing up with a resume. Steph had already won 3 championships when Jordan said this back in 2019. He'd already revolutionized the game, already changed how basketball is played at every level, already became the greatest shooter the sport has ever seen. And still, MJ said no, not good enough. Some fans were outraged. Others understood, because Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame isn't the same one everyone else talks about. It's not about stats or rings or popularity. It's about something else entirely, something ruthless. Steve Kerr, who played with Jordan in Chicago and coaches Curry in Golden State, tried to explain it. He said, "Michael has his own version of the Hall of Fame. It's in his own head, so whatever that is, that's what it is." Translation: Jordan's standards are impossible. But here's what makes this story fascinating. Curry didn't get defensive. He didn't clap back on social media. He didn't call MJ disrespectful. Instead, he smiled and said something that revealed everything about who he is. When you hear a guy like that, who's the greatest of all time, it's kind of funny. Curry told Soul Collector, "I think I'm good, but I'm never complacent. I know I have more to prove to myself." That response, that's the mark of a champion. Curry understood what Jordan was really saying. It wasn't an insult. It was a challenge, a test. The older generation pushing the new one to be better, to never settle, to keep chasing greatness even when the world already calls you great. And the timing of Jordan's comment? It wasn't random. This came during a wave of retired legends criticizing the modern NBA, saying the game is softer now, saying players today couldn't survive in their era, saying the competition isn't what it used to be. Jordan was part of that conversation, and Curry became the face of the response. But let's talk about what Jordan might have actually meant. Because technically, Curry couldn't be in the Hall of Fame yet anyway. Active players aren't eligible. You have to be retired for 4 years before you can even be considered. Curry's contract runs through 2027, which means he couldn't be inducted until 2031 at the earliest. So was MJ just stating a fact? Or was he sending a message? Some believe Jordan was questioning whether Curry's style of play, his reliance on the three-pointer, his lack of physicality compared to past generations, truly measured up to the legends who came before. Others think it was just competitive fire, MJ being MJ, never giving anyone credit until they've done everything. But here's the wild part. Since that comment in 2019, Curry has added another championship. He's won another Finals MVP. He's continued to break records. He led Team USA to Olympic gold. And still, the question lingers. Would Michael Jordan change his answer now? Jordan's return to NBC this season as part of MJ, Insights to Excellence, means we might get more moments like this. More unfiltered takes. More brutal honesty from the man who set the standard. And every time he speaks, the basketball world listens. Because when Michael Jordan evaluates your legacy, it's not just analysis, it's judgment. And his judgment carries weight no one else's does. Curry, meanwhile, keeps proving doubters wrong. Even at 36 years old, he's still elite, still dangerous, still capable of taking over games in ways no one else can. His new teammate Jimmy Butler just put up 16 free throws in his Warriors debut. But Curry still dropped 23 and reminded everyone why Golden State is still a threat. The pressure on Steph has always been different. He wasn't supposed to be this. A second-round pick who was too small, too skinny, too reliant on shooting. He built an empire on the thing everyone said would limit him. And now, even the greatest player ever has to acknowledge him, even if it's by saying, "Not yet." That "not yet" is what makes this story so powerful, because it means Jordan sees the potential. He sees the path. He just wants Curry to finish walking it, to silence every last doubt, to build a resume so undeniable that even MJ's impossible standards have to bend. And the beautiful irony, Curry doesn't seem to care about Jordan's approval. He's chasing his own version of greatness, his own legacy, his own Hall of Fame in his own head. So here's the question that matters. Was Michael Jordan being disrespectful? Or was he giving Steph Curry the ultimate sign of respect by holding him to the highest possible standard? And does Curry's legacy stand on its own? Or does he still need validation from the legends who came before him?